Hey, how's it going, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Um, I decided to do another nature walk type of video. And this is addressing the recent conversation of, is the Godzilla fandom toxic? I did make an initial statement in response to Kaiju Kim's video. Shout out to her for the one starting this conversation. And I did record an initial video, but after hearing Matt's thoughts and hearing a bit more thoughts, I wasn't pleased with the video, and I was kind of just all over the place. And I might be all over the place with this video as well, who knows, but I figured more calming setting with the birds chirping might give some positive energy. But the thing is, online fandom has become, like in general, it has just become more toxic. Social media has become more toxic. So this isn't just a Godzilla fandom, problem, but it is overall a problem. But I do want to say the Godzilla fandom, unfortunately, has a history of toxicity. But I do want to stress that there are plenty of amazing individuals in the Godzilla community, in the Godzilla fandom. Like Matt Frank, Kaiju Kim, Donny Winter, just to name a few. And there's amazing artists like Mars, and a friend of mine, Vandy, who does a lot of silly Godzilla drawings. Sorry, I got stuck for some of these low-hanging branches, but yeah, there's like plenty of individuals that you should check out, look at their work, watch their videos and stuff like that. But I've seen my fair share of toxicity when it comes to fandom. And first of all, and something I didn't do in the last video, is if you've been targeted with any form of harassment, I'm sorry. I I'm sorry. And if I said something out of ignorance or anything, I try to be mindful of others and everything. But if I've done anything to hurt someone, one, call me out, and two, I apologize if my actions have led to any toxicity in regards to the Godzilla fandom. Like if my video on Dr. Skipper's, Godzilla essay caused, toxicity, I'm sorry. That was not my intention. But I would like to help this community, the best I can. I mean, I don't consider myself a part of the fandom because after like 2014, like 2016 maybe, I sort of like distanced myself from the fandom as a whole. I kind of just went more towards the like Ultraman fandom, or primarily, and it's not like I don't dislike talking about Godzilla and all that, but yeah, the fandom toxicity has been prevalent for years, and I've had my fair share of encounters back on Facebook, which led me to leave Facebook almost entirely outside of using, Messenger to keep in touch with a few select people. Because yeah, I witnessed the toxicity firsthand, and unfortunately, and here's the thing, like, sorry, I'm stumbling over my words, but obviously, I'm not the most harassed individual out there. I mean, most Godzilla fans won't harass me because I'm a straight white guy. They're not gonna to, harass me like they do with women, queer, trans people, and people of other races. I don't get the same amount of harassment as a lot of minorities. And because I can sometimes mask that I'm autistic, I can avoid that. But yeah, and I do want to say though, if you're one of the people that are harassing, other individuals based on factors that they can't control, like if they're a woman, if they're like, if you're just being a jerk, harassing others, go touch some grass. But like, there's a lot that we need to do better on the community. I mean, there's been times where as a community we have done great things, but the fact that people are getting harassed and preyed on both online and in real life at G-Fest, it's not okay. The fact that a lot of, there is some inherent misogyny in the Godzilla community. There's, it's, I said this in my last video, and excuse my language, but the Godzilla fandom online, especially, like, and one of the reasons I love Facebook is that it's a big dick measuring contest for a lot of people. Like, who would win in this fight, Goku or Godzilla? Or my toy collection is better than your toy collection. And just a lot of these, like, very gatekeeping and just toxic, toxicity. And then there's, like, on Twitter, there's been a lot of drama, with, certain individuals. Like, the fact that the fan Goji community feels like a lot of people feel like leaving that community is because of the toxicity. There is an inherent problem with the Godzilla community, and I'll be honest, like, G-Fest, I mean, I didn't really have too many major bad experiences, but I did have some negative experiences with one of the management, like people from management, when I was volunteering at the 2014 one, which was my last one. For the record, like, nothing nothing extreme, like I wasn't preyed on or anything, thank God. No, just, granted, I was an 18-year-old, who didn't know better, who was a bit immature. But even then, I've tried to be a bit respectful and whatnot. But I remember one time on Facebook, I made a comment in response to the autograph prices increasing. And I made a joke about how I'll just ask for their autographs, like outside the line. Which, again, it was an immature response. And yeah, even though I was joking, it was an immature response, but I do remember the one, individual just berating me on, in the comments, and then even when I said, sorry, I didn't mean that, because when I made the joke, it was like, it's like, what, 3 o'clock in the morning? Obviously, I'm not in my, my most wisest moment. Tired and whatnot. Yeah, then he continued to lecture me, and it was, I didn't have really a lot of positive experiences with this person, and even in person, he was sort of rude and whatnot. But again, that's just my personal experience. And then there are times when I used to run an Ultraman fan page. I know this is a little, sidetracked, but I used to run a Ultraman fan page on Facebook years ago, and I remember posting a picture of me and Ben Furia, and like as sort of a face reveal. Like, hey, here's me with Ben Faruya. And Ben Faruya was dressed up in the Ultra Guard. Yeah, it wasn't the best picture quality, but I remember, like, one comment I got was calling me fugly. So, and that was the first time I've heard fugly. But when I was, that was, like, definitely something. But I do remember not having the best of times at G-Fest 2014, and I haven't really been so, like, ambitious to go ever since. And that's before they made the Artist Alley change rules that, made it clear that I'm probably never going to G-Fest again. And also there's the fact that it's 13 hours away from where I live, but even still, the fact that after 2014, I was like, I lost ambition to really be part of the Godzilla community, and just sort of the drama, the masculine toxicity, just a lot of it, like a lot of the dick measuring contests and whatnot. I had enough. But, so I want to do better for this community. Like, that's the end of the line. I want this community to do better, and the community has proven that we can do better. And we can include voices that are not straight white men like me. But we can do that. We still need to do better. There's still a lot of room to grow. And as the Godzilla community grows and becomes less of a niche, with the more movies that get made and whatnot, there's going to be more people coming in, more diverse people, and we need to let those people in. But to the people who use this community to harass others, to abuse others, to prey on others, you need to go outside, touch some grass, and if you get to meet a fellow Godzilla fan who happens to be a woman, and you try to get in her pants because like that's your goal, is just to get in her pants, touch some grass and never talk to a woman again until you learn that's creepy as heck. I'm trying to not say swear. And it's just that. And if you were one of the individuals who were being creepy towards Alyssa to the point of her leaving the Godzilla community, it is you who need to leave the Godzilla community. And if, just don't, a lot of you guys need to treat women with respect. And also, the fact that you treat Mars like Mars shared an experience when she was tabling at, next to Tanner Wright. They were doing a split table. People were kind of dismissing her, and just assuming Tanner did all the art. And they're both fantastic artists. And the fact that people were treating her like, the helper, the girlfriend. No, she's an amazingly talented artist that I wish I had nearly half the skill as her. And to Mars, I was there. I wish I knew. I'm sorry that happened. But yeah, and to every fan who has experienced harassment or everything, I'm sorry. If I'm at one of these events and you're feeling uncomfortable, if you're being targeted for harassment or whatnot, go try to find someone that you feel safe around. If that's artists you know, I mean, Matt Frank at G-Fest offered, you know, he's going to be, you know, he's offering his table as sort of a safe space if you need to get away from a creep. You know, I can't make those promise, you know, just because I'm not tabling at any conventions as far as I know. But if I am, and you need a safe space, I'll be more than happy to, you know, like, create a safe space for you and get some help. But, you know, obviously I'm a white guy, you know, like, and I'm not the biggest name out there. But again, just try to find someone who you feel safe with and try to report to, you know, the individual to management. And G-Fest, I do think, when I was last there in 2014, so 10 years ago, so things might have changed, but I have my doubts. But I do think that environment does enable this behavior because, again, of the whole dick measuring contest I mentioned earlier. But, you know, I don't think that's particularly anyone, like any of the dealers or, you know, management's fault per se. It's just more of, you're gathering a lot of, like, this group of people, and a lot of these toxic individuals do go, you know. And yeah, you know, it's just, it's one of those things where I want to do better for this community. I think this community can do better. But there is a reason why I don't personally say I'm part of the Godzilla fandom, you know, or I guess, you know, I do say I am. I do say I'm a Godzilla fan, but I don't get involved with the fandom drama a lot. But if you are witnessing bad behavior, call it out. Like, seriously, call it out. That's one way to help. And I know this is a long, rambling video, longer than my initial recording, but oh well. It's just, it's a complicated issue in a way, but really, we just got to keep calling out this bad behavior. We got to make sure to uplift the voices that are being silenced by those harassers, those toxic people. We got to uplift other voices that are not just straight white men. We got to uplift voice of queer, trans, you know, fans and woman fans. And we just stop being a jerk. Stop trying to get each other's votes. We got more pressing issues than giant radioactive lizard. But anyways, that's it for this video. I hope you have a fantastic day. Take care and shwatch.